Welcome in to Good Day After the Show, streaming exclusively on WTOL 11 Plus, and I'm in my element a bit. I'm on television, and I'm holding a baseball, and I have my glove too.
Yeah, so why don't put me in coach, right?
Yeah.
We're ready to play.
Yeah.
Let's play some catch.
Let's play some catch. So Jerry Blevins is with us today. Thank you so much for hanging out with us a little bit extra. We were talking earlier in the week about whiskey that you all are making with some of your former players as well. So that's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, we take the corn from the Field of Dreams, a baseball story through and through, and turn it into bourbon. Also a favorite baseball pastime.
Yep.
So
it
so
is.
Can we ask him, number one, what is your favorite sports movie of all time? I think we probably know. Do we know what it is?
Let's go specifically baseball movie.
Yeah.
We need to know. Favorite baseball movie.
I will. This is a bit of irony. I actually wrote an article for Sports Illustrated about how little I enjoy the movie Field of Dreams. It could be my daddy issues deep at the heart. But no, the truth is because they had Shoeless Joe batting on the wrong side, like the little subtle pieces. So it started out like on Twitter or X. It was Twitter then. Yeah. But I said I watched Everybody Wants Some, which is an amazing baseball movie that is like little unknown. Todd Linklater did it. It's about Richard Linklater, but it captures like college baseball, like the 3 days before the season starts. Anyway, I said that might be my new favorite baseball movie. Okay. Fans were like, well, what's number one? Where's number two? And I ended up just like, I put Field of Dreams at like 5 and got attacked, so I kept moving further. So it's ironic that now I do love the movie.
Have a company that's called Field of Dreams based.
Correct.
My favorite is Major League, I know.
Major League?
Yes, it's my favorite.
So
it's my favorite as well.
I think Sandlot for me is number one. Then Rookie of the Year is number two.
That's my time of year.
And I think League of Their Own is
one.
number 3.
That's hard to beat. Yeah. I mean, there's so many good ones. Sandlot is up there. Yeah. I love Bull Durham is incredible.
Bull Durham is solid. Yeah, it is. It is.
I still think Everybody Wants Some. I love to promote that movie because not a lot of people have seen it. Yeah. And there's supposed to be a new one called Ephus out. That's like not a normal baseball movie. That's about like a local, like just old men's league that plays. I can't wait to watch that. But Major League is probably the one I've watched the most. My older brother and I have probably seen that a million times.
Yeah, I have to watch it every year.
And for folks out there who don't know, the teams that you play with, you pitched, did you come out the bullpen, starter? So where did you play?
So I was a middle reliever, starter my whole life, got to pro ball. They saw this frame and they were like, you can't handle 200 innings. Let's go ahead and put you in the bullpen. Yeah. I played for the A's for 7 years. Got traded, played for Washington for 1 year, which is when I met my business partners, Tyler Clippard and Drew Storen. Went to the Mets, played there for 4 years, finished my career in 2019 in the big leagues with the Braves, and then came back after the pandemic for about 6 weeks with the Mets.
Okay, but you're missing something.
What's that? Oh, this is
Steven's favorite part.
I was drafted originally, and thank you very much, Chicago Cubs.
Thank you. That's all I wanted to hear. Don't bury that part next time.
I appreciate the pride that you have for your team. Yes. That's what baseball is all about.
Absolutely.
It is. Why don't we toss some balls around?
Can we talk?
I mean,
Major League Baseball a little bit too.
100%. You want to throw and talk at the same time? Not everybody has that skill.
Let's try.
All right.
All right. I think of me like your 7-year-old that you have at home.
I will. I think just for lawsuits, I'll be nice and easy. Same. I don't want to have to pay for these dental replacements.
Appreciate it, my friend.
All right.
There's only a tree there, right?
I know, right? And I'll move back a little bit.
Over the fence.
So where did you go to college? Where did you go to high school?
I grew up in Northwest Ohio. So I went to Arcadia High School. I grew up in Fostoria. Arcadia, a little farm school.
Sorry.
Between Findlay and Fostoria. I loved it. I graduated with under 50 people at my high school.
Wow.
Okay.
Played all 3 sports, football, baseball, basketball, got to be in the marching band.
Rad.
Oh, sweet.
One of the beauties about being at a small school, you can do whatever you want to. They'll invite you in. Then I went to Dayton. Me and my best friend, Andy Knoll, who still lives in the area, went to Dayton academically. Okay. I tried out for the baseball team. Him and I tried out like from, the poster in the dorm room. Yeah. So I walked on and learned how to learn how to be a collegiate athlete and a student athlete. pitched really well my junior year. I got drafted by the Cubs, and the rest is kind of history there.
I think that's awesome.
Wow,
You
walked
Walked on.
and got drafted.
That's quite a story.
That's
It's
incredible.
a story. You know, I worked really hard. Like, so obviously everybody that makes it to the top level works really hard, you guys included, but it takes a lot of luck to get the opportunity.
Yeah.
So what I consider luck is you have to be prepared when that opportunity strikes.
Okay.
And so that's what I got really lucky with the Cubs drafting me, the A's trading for me. Like, everything worked out for me. Being healthy, you know, not everybody has gone through sports without
Right.
having some major injury.
Right,
I got
right.
pretty lucky on that front.
Yeah.
And I'm forever grateful to the sport of baseball.
I love that, man. So you get drafted by the Cubs. You go through their minor league system. How many years did that take?
So I was drafted in 2004, and I was traded at the trade deadline in 2007.
Okay.
And I got called up that year in Oakland. So 3.5 years, and then I was up and down some minor leagues.
Okay.
8, 9, and 11, I was up and down a little bit.
So you walk into that A's locker room, and your jersey is there with your name on the back.
I just got chills thinking about it.
Man,
Yeah.
I mean, as a guy who walked onto his college baseball team, and now you're in Oakland, and they're like, we're going to pay you this big league salary, and you're going to be pitching against the best players in the world. What was going through your mind?
I literally got chill. I'm so grateful for the opportunity that baseball has given me. I actually grew up an A's fan.
Okay.
And the fact that I made that debut, you know, in that uniform, in the prettiest uniform, like, I know you're a Cubs fan.
Yeah.
But the green and gold.
You're not wrong.
It's
Yeah.
it's beautiful.
I agree. Yeah, it
so
is.
I got to, you know, my first teammate I met was Mike Piazza.
Wow.
What?
Like,
Wow.
I remember Mike from the Mets, man.
yeah,
Wow.
of course. But at the end of his career, he was with the A's. I had to, you know, Nick Swisher, Ohio legend, was my
Wow.
locker mate right
Swisher.
next to me.
Yeah.
Jack Hannahan, this is classic Oakland. Jack Hannahan and I shared a locker because they didn't have enough. Because, you know, back then you could call it 40 men. So we had 40 people in that small locker room at the Coliseum. We actually had to, like, take turns getting dressed.
Yeah.
Not a complaint, though, because I
Okay.
enjoyed every second of it.
So what was that
Wow.
like? Because, like, that stadium, if my memory serves me correctly, that was the football stadium as well, right?
Correct.
So
They share
how
with the
was,
Raiders.
How was that playing on a field like that was a football stadium too?
So I love the people of Oakland. They're loyal, wonderful people, and when we were good, they would pack it out. Playing at the Coliseum was really fun for me because it's a huge, like, its footprint is enormous because of football. They move the stands in, so there's so much foul territory for a pitcher like me to catch some extra outs. You know, you foul a ball off, most of the time it goes into the stands.
Yeah.
In the Coliseum, they got tons of room to play.
Hey, we got a couple more.
Yeah, we got some backups.
I was waiting for here. I'll go this way.
We'll go reverse.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll work.
Let Steven catch a
So
couple.
I have so many questions.
I bet you do.
Bring them. I love it. We
I'm
can
sorry.
talk baseball. We can talk bourbon, whatever.
So we'll get to bourbon. Amanda can ask the bourbon
I'm so
question.
sorry.
That's okay.
You said
So-
bourbon, and I.
So a lot of people want to know this too. Let me see. Should I go here? Let's talk about your pitches. Okay.
Okay.
So what did you have in your arsenal?
Yeah, so easily, so I threw a four-seam fastball. This is, you know, the grip of a four-seamer. A lot of people actually do it the horseshoe on the outside, but I threw a four-seam. I threw a changeup this way,
Circle change?
the circle change. I couldn't ever do the circle change that's underneath, like on the side.
Yeah.
So I could never, it's a field pitch. I couldn't do it, but so I put the circle underneath.
Oh, really?
Which is the only way that it could feel comfortable.
Okay.
I threw a cutter for a while. I did have one surgery, so if you can see that scar, I got hit by a line drive in 2015.
Yeah.
And I have a plate and screws in there. It actually
man.
cost me pitching in the World Series that year.
Oh my
But
goodness.
after that surgery, I couldn't throw a cutter anymore.
Okay.
But my bread and butter by far is the curveball. So this is for me.
Okay.
Big, slow.
Was it a 12-6 curve?
It was like 11-5. So
Okay.
on the clock, big. That's, I mean, 95% of my strikeouts are curveball related.
Okay.
So 72 miles an hour, big breaker. So big, slow, left-handed curveball.
And what were you maxing out with your fastball, like the hardest?
Most of my career, I was between 88 to 93.
Okay.
The highest I ever threw was 98.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, there was a moment there, and where I could throw hard, and I chased that for a few years and realized that you have to put the ball where you want versus down the middle as hard as you can.
And you know who was my favorite? You know who was my favorite at that? They put the ball exactly where it needed to go, but they didn't throw the hardest. Greg Maddux.
I mean, he's the king of that.
He is, and I just loved him when he played with the Cubs. Also, as a Cubs fan, Carlos Zambrano, Kerry Wood, Mark Pryor. Those were my guys, man.
That's me coming up. So when I was in the minor leagues with the Cubs, this was Cliff Lee. I think I got to meet Dusty Baker and Lou Piniella.
Nice. Yeah.
But that was Mark Pryor, Kerry Wood, Nomar Garciaparra.
Yeah.
So when I was my first full season in the minor leagues in 2005, we were in Peoria, Illinois.
Okay.
And you're close to the big leagues, so you're when their players get injured, they come back on a rehab assignment. I got to play with in 2005 as a 21-year-old kid. I got to play with Nomar Garciaparra and Kerry Wood.
How cool.
It was unbelievable. And they bought spread, which is the first time you get to eat like a big leaguer too.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
No more, gray mystery meat. These guys are bringing in steaks for us.
So here's the thing about Kerry Wood. Kerry Wood could pitch, but he could hit as well.
He could.
So my next question, why is it that we see in the league, outside of a Shohei Ohtani, that major league pitchers struggle offensively?
Okay, I'll tell you two things, because throwing a ball and hitting a ball are two completely different skill sets. Yep. And a lot of it, by the way, I'm 250 career big league hitter, just so you know.
Okay.
That's the bat that I got my hit with is maybe my favorite piece of memorabilia I have.
Okay.
As a member of our union, we always talk about, will the DH come to the National League?
Yeah.
I was always against it, but as soon as I got my hit, I was like, go ahead, guys. I already got a hit. You could bring it.
Right.
The truth is, because the guys don't practice it.
They practice,
It became a liability. Players specialize so much, and you do it so little, guys aren't willing to risk. I remember watching Jacob deGrom when he was ascending to, he's the greatest baseball player I've ever seen. In that, I want to say the 2017 season, he batted left-handed and he hyperextended his pitching arm, swinging the bat.
Yeah.
And luckily, it didn't hurt him.
Yeah.
But I remember thinking, why are we doing this?
Right.
Because the truth is, your pitchers are best pitching, so I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's because we don't practice, because it's not worth putting your players at risk.
Because the focus is to make sure you have that rotation all year long.
For the same reason why your quarterback in practice wears a bright jersey so nobody touches him, it's the same reason why pitchers don't practice, hitting. I imagine.
There you go, folks. You got your answer from a former big league pitcher. So now, Amanda wants to talk bourbon, because I can talk baseball with you all day.
I know you have a couple of local events by the time folks are seeing this on WTOL 11+. Joseph's Friday night. What date is that? That would be
the 6th.
The 6th, 4 to 6?
4 to 6 p.m.
Okay, and then can people order online? Where can they get it?
So OHLQ is your best bet.
Okay.
Going and trying to find it on the website where it's at. Obviously, you can go to drinkfieldofdreams.com if we don't sell it in your state, and you can ship it. They don't ship to every state. It's a little bit complicated.
Yeah.
But we are running a special for Father's Day.
Nice.
Buy any 2 bottles, whether it's 2-player series, 2 small batch, and you can get a dad hat with our logo, which is Drew Storen.
That's cool.
Created at Stanford educated man, loves it, our former player. You can get a dad hat with our logo on it as a throw-in, honoring Father's Day and bourbon, kind of two great mixes.
Awesome. And we've got the link to that full interview talking more about the backstory with the Field of Dreams on WTOL 11's YouTube channel. I'll post it on my Facebook page too.
Heck of an arm, by the way.
Oh,
was
a pleasure.
he
Yeah,
did.
it was.
Yeah,
It was
I kept you on your toes.
I heard stories, dreams of your curveball. I've heard everybody in the office, in the newsroom, they were talking about it.
It's legit, my friend. 12-6. That's why I asked.
You're
what
straight
you had.
over the top.
Oh
all right.
my goodness, had them freezing at the plate.
I love a good knee buckle. That's the best.
Thanks so much for your time.
Thank
We
you
really
guys
appreciate
for
it.
this is, I get to call this work. That's not so bad.
Yeah,
Ooh,
we say
same
the
to
same
us,
thing.
right? Same for us, yeah.
Thanks again. We'll be back.
Yep, stay with us.
Welcome back into Good Day After the show. We've made our way back to the studio. Amanda, that was so much fun.
Throwing a ball with a former major league pitcher. Like, it doesn't really get any better than
It doesn't get any better than that. And it was just so fun for me to be able to talk the baseball of my era, to be able to talk about some of the same players. You know, when he mentioned his first teammate he met was Mike Piazza, it blew my mind, really, because as a little leaguer, I was a catcher, so he was one I looked up to. Jorge Posada as well with the New York Yankees, so that's why I wore number 20 growing up too, because of Jorge Posada. So really cool, super fun. But you did have a few miscues with the throwing a little bit, Amanda.
Oh, can I tell you, I was nervous.
You were?
I was nervous. And it's funny because I play catch with my husband a lot, usually like a tennis ball or like something softer. So I haven't thrown a baseball in a really long time. But usually we throw catch and I play catch and I do pretty well. This was rough. I threw over the fence. You had to go fish that out.
I had to pick a few, too, up out of the dirt, which actually, Amanda, that was fun for me because it showed me, okay, I still have the fundamental skills.
Yeah, and you didn't throw your back out, so there you go.
I did not. You know, I felt in my element.
Awesome.
I did. That was so much fun. And also this week, we got a chance to interview football royalty.
Eddie George was on the
Yeah,
show.
he's now the head coach of the Bowling Green State University Falcons. Yeah, so getting a chance to talk to him, and you can tell he's really faith-driven.
Yes.
He really mentioned that aspect of things a few times. So really nice to get a chance to know him. And, doing this, we'll get an opportunity to run into him a little bit more.
I hope so. Yeah, hopefully he'll be a guest for us again. And also get to learn a little bit about what he did when he off the field, and doing all the acting that he did. So if you missed that segment, it's on our WTOL 11 YouTube channel. You'll want to catch that whole segment with Eddie George. We wish him luck ahead of this new season coming up. They're going to be hitting it hard here in the coming weeks.
Sounds like it. Yeah, he's coaching his son as well, so that's pretty cool. That'll be a fun dynamic for all of us to see. Yeah,
very cool. So what a fun week.
Yeah, great week.
Yeah.
And we're glad that you got a chance to experience a little bit of it with us. Yeah. So we appreciate it. Thanks so much for joining us on Good Day After the show.
And thanks for downloading the app, WTOL 11 Plus. Tell your friends. Yeah. Have a good day, everybody.